Hello and welcome to Decoding Helix. Thank you very much for joining me on episode 4 of this podcast. And in today's episode, I wanted to touch on the topic of social media for business and what it could mean for you versus what it probably means for you right now. So without further ado, I'm going to dive into this topic, and hopefully some of what I have to say is going to help you guys out in understanding how social media can actually help your business. Stay tuned. So in today's episode, I wanted to touch on what social media can do for you and where you guys might be at with social media. Now, your understanding of how these platforms actually work is going to be critical in whether you're going to see success or not. So let's start with Facebook. Facebook is one of the biggest platforms of social media out there. I've heard a lot of people say, well, isn't Facebook on the decline? Haven't some of the things that happened recently kind of diminished its reach and, its power and all that kind of stuff? Well, let me put it to you like this. And one of the latest things that I've read about, statistics that I've read on Facebook is that you've got about over 15 million Australians using it. So if you've got that many people on Facebook, now you're not going to reach 15 million people with your business Facebook page. So please try and let's keep our feet planted on Earth. But you will reach a good majority of them if you know how to use it properly. And if you know how to use Facebook ads properly as well. So that's going to come into play as well. But when it comes to Facebook and how businesses interact on Facebook with followers and with, people that are new that come to your page because they've heard of your product from, someone or some friend or someone that they know, then it's going to have a big impact on you to actually try and find out how this platform works, how it was designed to work. And if you can crack that nutshell, then you're going to start seeing some serious success. I'll tell you what everybody pretty much does on Facebook as far as, business-wise is concerned. They post about themselves. They post about their latest product or, a product in their line. And, they tell people how good it is. They keep telling people about the features of that product. And they try and sell. It's as simple as that. They try and use Facebook as another flat-out selling tool, which it absolutely is not. You need to understand that Facebook is one of those things that was created to connect people to other people. You might know the original story to it and how it, started out, and that's fine, but that's not what it is right now. Okay? Right now it's a tool that people can use to connect with their friends, with their family, with new friends that they might make, and yes, with brands as well. But what they don't want to see in their feed, and what Facebook is trying to minimize with the latest series of changes, is businesses just spamming people's feeds with buy this, buy that, buy this service, buy this product, and stuff of that nature. And you see it everywhere. In fact, before they made all these changes, you could very clearly see that in your feed. It was mostly spammed with a whole bunch of different businesses that Facebook thought you might want to know about. Now, it could have been true, it could have not been true, but at the end of the day, you weren't seeing as much of your friends' posts as you would have liked. And that was a big reason for you to actually be on that platform. And that is a reason why people are still on that platform. They still want to connect and they still want to engage. And believe it or not, those same people would actually love to engage with your brand and with your products. But the way that you come across has a lot to do with why you might not see so much success right now. So here's something that I can give you that you guys might be able to put into place. Try and find a way when you're posting to add a human element to your Facebook page as a business. One of the tips that I give my clients is whenever you're posting, try and include, someone that works for you in the picture that you're going to take, and give them a story not about your products, but about that person. Maybe about why they love working for that company of yours, because it helps. And then tag that person that's in the picture in the post. So I'm pretty sure you all know how to tag. Try it. Give it a go. But remember that consistency is key. Because for all this time, what you may have done, and I'm not saying you have, but you may have, you've tried to sell people on your services, on your products, on how great you are, and why people need your stuff. Now, it may be true. Your product and your service may save people a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of heartache, and, it's genuinely a great product. But the problem that pumping your product so much on Facebook has is that if there's no interaction and nobody's reacting and nobody's looking at your posts, Facebook is pretty much just going to put it in the background. It's never going to be seen by anybody except for you and possibly the employee you might have that's posting that for you. If you've got employees looking after your social media. So you might want to keep that in mind. If instead of posting about your products, post about the people that make the entire process happen. That's definitely something that's going to set you apart. I know that not all of you are going to do that. Some of you are thinking, what is this guy on about? Well, as I said before, Facebook is a platform that is meant to connect people with people. And you have to understand that your employee is going to be wearing your uniform with your logo on it, if that's the kind of setup you have. If not, they're still going to see that content coming from your page, which means that they're still going to see your logo. So it's not like you're not advertising. You are, but you're doing it in a different way now. Instead of like overtly telling people you need to buy this, or here's our latest offering, you're doing it in a much more subtle way. And that actually makes a huge difference in the long run as to how people are going to react to, your company on Facebook. So Instagram, if you have a business like, say, real estate, like if you run a real estate business or something like that, Instagram is good to have, because you can take pictures of those houses, the interiors of some of those houses, and post them on Instagram. Now, when you post, remember, people, hashtags. Hashtags are very important. Hashtags are going to attract people to your posts and to your pictures. So they are very important. I've noticed a lot of clients that have approached me and, they're like, look, can you take a look at our Instagram page? we're not getting too much traction with it, so we think it's a waste of time. Well, it might be a waste of time because, again, you haven't really done your background on this platform, and so you don't understand how it works or how it can work correctly for you. So if you've got one of those businesses that's very visual, if you've got like an art gallery, or if you have products that you sell that look really cool, like say your market is kids' toys or something like that, then by all means be on Instagram. You should be on Instagram. You should be on Facebook. You should be doing unboxing videos on YouTube. You should be like trying to hit those platforms pretty hard and pretty consistently. And that's another part that people miss out about social media, is you need to be consistent with all of these things across the board. You want to do that because the old saying is true: out of sight, out of mind. If no one sees your stuff, no one's going to, people forget. They'll move on to something else. And you don't want them doing that, so you want to be consistent with your posts. But again, you want to add that human element to it. Now, when you're doing a video or anything like that for YouTube, it's very easy to bring that human element into it because there's going to be a person talking to the camera. And it's much easier to relate to someone with a face and with a voice, and, they're staring right in the camera, so it's like they're looking right into, the eyes of the person that's actually watching the video. So it's easy to make that human connection. But with Facebook, you've got a few other tools in your up your sleeve that you can use. You've got Facebook Live. Facebook Live is a very powerful thing that most businesses do not use. I can pretty much guess why they don't want to use it or why they don't use it, but I can also see that they don't understand the power of a live video. Doing a live video has quite a number of benefits to it. There's the time where you're actually live, where people can react to your video right then and there. But then there's also the replay value. And one of the things that you can do, in the replay value is, after all of that's done and you can go through and see all the people that have viewed your video, you can then go in and invite those people to like your page. So if you want to grow your followers on Facebook, that's a great way to do it, because you're going to have some responses from people where they actually, you know what, I'm going to follow this page. I think it's pretty interesting. I like what they're doing. I like the direction that they're going in, or I like their products, and I never knew that it was them that actually provided this. So there's a number of ways that you can actually get some traction. But, when it comes to Instagram, you got Insta stories. You've got, you got obviously the picture function on there that you can definitely use and have very good use out of it. So, you know what? It's absolutely unreal. Like the amount of functionality and stuff that you have in all of these platforms that you can reach people. The biggest problem that businesses have is they are unsure and do not know how to use these platforms properly. But I guarantee you, if you spend a little bit of time getting to know the platforms and a little bit of their inner workings, you're going to have much more success for your business and for yourself down the line if you understand what needs to happen in order to get something back from the time that you spend on social media. So, those are just a few tips that I thought I'd share with you. I know that I touched on a few of these things in episode 1, but I just wanted to pretty much go through it again, and hopefully this time around I've been a little bit more articulate with what I've shared with you. So, look, if you have anything that you can add to that, please leave it in the comments below. I'm sure it's going to be able to help somebody else as well that is going to read that comment that you're going to leave. And remember, you leave a comment on there, it's not like it's going to get erased. It's always going to stay on there because the podcast is always going to stay on there. So if you're in iTunes or anything like that, look, please leave a rating on there. Let me know what you thought of the podcast. Let me know what you think of the entire show. Do you want to hear more? And if you do, what kind of subjects do you want to hear? Because, again, my vision for this podcast is that, I want to share information with anyone that's looking to become an entrepreneur, or anyone that's already in business and wants to know how to, how to use social media, for instance, just like what this episode was about. But I don't want to make it all about social media, and I don't want to make it so it's so boring that people are like, oh man, here we go again. I genuinely want to help people. And so the feedback that you guys give me is going to give me some direction as to what you want to hear and, what kind of pains are you facing in business right now. And if you've got any questions like that, by all means, leave them below or, private message us and we'll take a look at it and we will try and get back to you with as honest and as genuine an answer as we can possibly give you. Because if we're not going to connect like that, if I can't give you the answers you want, and I know that information, then, I'm not going to feel very good about it. I want to be able to give you what you absolutely need. I want your business to succeed just as much as I want my business to succeed. So, yeah, look, there are tons of things that we can be talking about where it comes to social media. It's a huge subject, and it just depends on how you approach it. So if you've got problems with, your posts right now, they're not reaching people, they're not really getting through to as many people as they used to before, well, the answer to that is Facebook has changed its algorithm, and it's not in favor of business. So now if you want to be seen, you're going to have to start creating ads. So you're going to want to learn how to best create those ads and really target the kind of people that you would, you'd want to see as your customers. So you want to find out their age. You want to find out kind of like where they hang out online. And again, your Insights tab is going to be invaluable to you once you understand what it all means. It's not that difficult to get a hang of, but again, it does take some time to get used to and to start understanding. So, look, my biggest tip is don't give up, and whatever you do, just find out as much as you can about that platform, and then use it to your advantage. It's going to benefit your business absolutely immensely. So, you could either keep doing what you're doing now with very little results, or you could change your strategy and your tactics, and you can get somewhere without pulling your hair out and thinking that it's just a big giant waste of time. So, yeah, look, we've all had to start somewhere. And I'm sure that most of you are out there are actually doing a pretty good job with your social media. But if you're going to be honest with yourself, you will also recognize that there's always room for improvement. There's always a better way of doing things. And it's about finding those kinds of things that you can do to improve people's interactions with you, your interactions with them. So another thing that I've seen is, people sometimes don't comment back to comments that have been left on their posts. I would encourage you to make sure that you reply back to those comments, even though they might be negative. And I'm pretty sure I've said this before. But you know what? If it's going to help you, I'm going to keep saying it. Actually, no, I don't want to repeat myself. I hate repeating myself. I'm sure you do too. So you know what it feels like. But look, I just wanted to leave you with those few things. I know that I've touched on a few of them in the first episode. Hopefully, I've elaborated on a few of those points in this episode, and I'm hoping that it has actually been able to drive that point home that, you know what, social media can work, and it does work, because there are so many people out there that are doing it. And look, if you're going to run Facebook ads, I'm going to also leave you with this. If you don't know how to run these ads, learn how to run those ads. Even if it means asking somebody and paying someone to teach you how to do that. If you don't want to have someone doing that for you every time you need to run a Facebook ad, and you don't want to pay someone to do that, that's fine. Learn how to do those, to run those Facebook ads for yourself. The benefit in doing that is, again, you can reach so many people with these ads that it's just ludicrous what you can do with them. But you need to know how to work them properly, because if you don't, you're going to miss out. Because very soon you're going to have, bigger companies that are well established, that are now spending like millions of dollars every year on radio and print and on television ads. And those guys are going to very soon kind of wake up to the fact that maybe those mediums are a thing of the past. You're going to say to me, oh yeah, but people still read newspapers and people still watch television. Absolutely they do. Absolutely. I'm not going to take that away from those mediums at all. I think they're very important. But let me ask you this. When's the last time you sat through an ad because you wanted to? So you're watching, your team absolutely thrash some guy, Friday night game, some other team on a Friday night game, and then an ad comes up. Or better still, what if you've recorded this game and you're now watching it because you couldn't watch it when it was being broadcast live? Do you sit there through those ads and go, you know what? I wonder what this company was doing. Yeah, and I'm glad to know that they're having a sale because I'm going to go and check it out tomorrow. Or do you actually skip through those ads because the remote in your hand is, a little too convenient for you to do that? Hey, I know I'd do that as well. I don't want to sit there and watch ads. I want to watch the show. That is what is important to me. That's why I sat down on the couch in the first place. So you have to remember that most people carry around a smartphone. And most people, whether they're on a train going to work or coming back from work, or even if they're out on a date with a loved one, what are they doing? They're in Facebook. Learn how to use it properly. They're on Instagram. Learn how to use Instagram properly. They're on YouTube watching videos. Learn how to utilize it to your advantage. It's imperative that you do that, because if you don't, in today's day and age, you are going to miss out, and you are missing out. Don't wait until those big giants with, lots of cash stuffed in their pockets are going to start throwing money into Facebook and into Instagram ads, because by that time, if you wake up then, it's going to be a little too late. Those ads are going to be more expensive than what they are now to run, and honestly, you're going to miss out. By that point, you will have already missed out. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your business. Learn how to utilize your social media platforms, your chosen social media platforms for your business properly. That's my one big giant tip to you. If you haven't learned anything else today, try and understand that. It's going to benefit you. I hope I haven't sounded too arrogant or anything like that. If I have, I do apologize. It is almost 1 o'clock, so, it is right now to me. So, but yeah, look, I hope you have much success with the information that you've learned today. I hope you can take it away and implement it. If you already have, great, keep going with it. Keep finding out what's the next thing that you can do. What is the next biggest thing that you can sort of, try and see if it works for your business. So never stop. I mean, social media is the kind of place that doesn't stop. So if you can figure out how it's supposed to work and then continuously keep up with it, find a way to do that, it's absolutely going to benefit you. And yeah, again, don't wait until it's too late. You've got it right there at your fingertips. Find out as much as you can about it and then use it to your business's advantage. Okay? Well, that's pretty much all the time that I have for right now. But look, I hope you've been able to take something away from today's podcast. If you have, please like, share, subscribe. Definitely subscribe. We'd love for you to do that. And just, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what you think about social media and how it's served your business so far. So, yeah, I'd love to know where you guys are at with that. And yeah, hopefully we will see you next time on the next podcast episode. Until then, my name's Sabin. This is Decoding Helix. And until next time, have a good one.